Howdy, 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 my beautiful Sagittarius. How are you doing, darling? My name is SimplyVelca, and today, honey, I'm going to be getting into your 2021 October weekly tarot horoscope reading, Sagittarius. So if you find any cards that resonate with you in this weekly reading today, be sure to let me know in the comments below how the cards resonate. And remember, it doesn't matter what you identify as, Sagittarius, whether it's he, she, they, them, anything inside that spectrum or outside of that spectrum, darling. The cards are going to resonate with you. They're going to resonate with you regardless, darling. Also, let me know in the comments below how they do, because that's how I keep up with you, Saggy. And if you do enjoy this tarot reading today, or you just enjoy my vibe, I would really appreciate it, Sagittarius, if you were to give this video a like and subscribe, because it does help me out a lot, and I always appreciate it when you do that extra step for me. Remember as well, Sagittarius, that I am just a man reading some tarot cards to you, darling. You know your situation better than I ever possibly could, so take the cards that resonate, leave what doesn't, because I'm not going to be offended by it whatsoever. Blue cards are just here to give you some food for thought and a perspective to consider, never making choices in your life. So, yeah, let's jump into this weekly tarot reading for you now, Sagittarius. Remember, if you want to book a reading with me, my website's always linked down below, SimplyVelca.com. But let's get into this now. Let's do a little vibe check, a little vibe forecast for this week, see how you're going to be feeling this week, see what's going to be generally going on, darling. So Sagittarius, the card that you got was the Four Swords, solitude and healing, darling. So, you know, even based off of these tarot cards that I pulled for you, which I'll show you in a moment, don't worry, Sagittarius, I get this impression here where it's just, you know, for some of you guys, I feel it like, this is intuitive, so take this as you will, darling, but I feel as if some of you guys just recently had some type of relationship in your life come to an end, some type of closure. Doesn't matter if it's romantic or platonic. We have, like, when I say relationships, you know, we have many relationships in our life. I feel like so many people will think about it just from a romantic way, but I feel like something came to a closure, Sagittarius, and it was a little bit of a blow to the gut to you, right? I feel like it's been a little bit of a time of where you've been focusing on licking your wounds, but it's just been hard for some of y'all to see the purpose and like why this had to be how it had to be, right? So the cards I pulled for you was the Knight of Wands, Sagittarius, with the Five of Cups, as well as the Knight of Cups coming in here. So, you know, for some of you guys, Sagittarius, it's like this sense of where someone came into your life. If this wasn't like a long-term connection, because I feel like it could be 50-50. For some of you Sagittariuses, it could be, you know, if this is someone that was just recent, you know, maybe it started out really strongly and then just the same, like out of like nowhere, out of the blue, like then they kind of like started ghosting you in a sense, right? Because I just feel like it was just like very hot and then very cold, right? You have the Knight of Wands here, fire energy, and then it gets into the Knight of Cups here where it's water energy, right? So it's just giving me very much so like very polarizing from how initially it started, right? Maybe this person approached you, you know, was like really good friends with you, y'all were kicking it off, you thought from your end, you're just like, oh, this is fabulous, darling. But then something happened that caused for you to, I mean, there is some type of disappointment here with that Five of Cups, right? And then with that Four of Swords, there's like that healing. So it's just like, yeah, it's giving me the sense of where you're trying to make sense of something. Five of Wands coming in here, clarifying the Knight of Wands. So, you know, the Five of Wands is my card of conflicts, darling. Oh, Saggy. And then the Knight of Swords, Nine of Swords, clarifying that Five of Cups. Ugh. And then the Seven of Wands, clarifying the Knight of Cups. So, yeah, Sagittarius, man. I feel like this has just been something that's just like you can't even get over currently. Just because I feel like for some of you guys, you feel like you're lacking closure in this situation. Like, it feels like some of you guys are just trying to understand, like, what happened. Trying to understand, like, why the situation had to be the way that it turned out to be. You know, and I can't obviously speak for the situation for why things turned out to be the way that they ended up being. And I also want to make it a point, Sagittarius, it doesn't have to be in terms of relationship in your life. It could be, you know, for some of you guys, maybe you ended up recently losing your job, or like something bad happened in your workplace that's giving you a lot of anxiety. Maybe you're even questioning if you're going to lose your job or not. Something I just feel like pointing out because of that Seven of Wands coming in. But yeah, like it's just like it feels like you're lacking closure, and you're trying your best to just like move on and heal from the situation from the best way that you can, even though it's extremely hard for you to do that. So it sucks, man. Let's see what you don't see coming towards you, Sagittarius. King of Cups. So you do get some sense of like emotional. Before you even pull any of the cards, I'm going to obviously be pulling two more for this before I continue. But I wouldn't be surprised if you do somehow receive closure in this because of the King of Cups bringing forth that sense of emotional stability or just this calmness. We have the Two of Pentacles coming in. And then the Eight of Wands coming in as well. So for some of you Sagittarius, there's going to be this sense of like, you definitely have the opportunity to experience some closure with this, but then it comes in with this message of where you're not quite sure where to go from here, right? For some of you guys, if this is in regards to a person, Sagittarius, you're going to receive the ghosting comes to an end, they communicate, but then you're kind of at this place of being like, well, are they going to just play these same games again or what have you, right? And some of you guys might be tempted, Sagittarius, to get back into this toxic cycle. It's giving me very much so where it's like you get the closure, or like just before you finally just like move on from the situation, it comes back into your life. And then from there, like, while it does provide closure to you, Sagittarius, it's at the same time that it kind of just like opens up that wound that you were almost fully healed from. And you're just like, I don't know if I really want to open this back up, this can of worms again, because I just spent all this time putting these worms back into this can, darling, right? Obviously it's free will, darling. I don't know what, there is no right the right decision for you is the one that makes you feel the best, right? The Lover's card coming in, Sagittarius, on that King of Cups. Oh my gosh. We have the Nine of Wands coming in with that Two of Pentacles, girl. And then we have the Hierophant coming in with that Eight of Wands. Yeah, I am going to be really honest here, Sagittarius. I feel as if like whatever caused that spilled milk from before that we talked about with that Five of Cups, darling, something that brought forth that disappointment that caused you to feel a little bit wounded, that for you to need to heal from, it's like you're going to start healing from it, and then something comes in that gives the sense that, like, because I do, regardless of the fact, I feel like you're going to get a closure in the situation. But then it's just like at this place, Nine of Wands, that wounded warrior being for you Two of Pentacles, you acknowledge how hurtful this situation was. You acknowledge how hard the situation was for you. So now you're kind of at this, you're feeling some sense of resistance, Sagittarius, and being like, well, I don't know if I want to do this again, right? Because this hurt a lot the last time, right? Hierophant on that Eight of Wands, I do feel like it's like you're going to be approached where it's just like, all right, well, trying to make amends for what happened, but also not wanting to just split paths either, right? So this is even in terms of a job, you might be questioning, being like, do I choose to ride this job out? Do I choose to like continue on with this job because they say they're going to change, they say that the work environment's going to be better, what have you, or do I just look into new horizons, right? The Lover's card coming in with that King of Cups here, like self-explanatory in some ways, right, Sagittarius? But it also encompasses this sense of a complex decision. It's not black and white for you, Sagittarius. It's very hard for you to just like make a decision. That's why you have the Two of Pentacles there, where you're tossing things around and you're just like, it feels like you just don't know what to do. You don't know what the right answer is. And I feel like for many of you Sagittarius, you're hoping this reading is going to give you that answer. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I can give you that answer, Sagittarius. Because I feel like it's one of those things where you have to just ask yourself, like, what are you going to be able to be ready for, right? Are you willing to give this another chance or not? And it's going to be very different for all of you Sagittariuses. I do not envy y'all's position right now, Sagittarius. I really don't. Oh my gosh, y'all are going through it, Saggy. So let's see the good things coming in the works for y'all. We have the Chariot card coming in here for you, Sagittarius, with the Ace of Cups coming in. And then the Four of Swords coming in again. I'm going to be honest, now you guys, this is giving me kind of like a little bit of an answer. The good things that are in the works for y'all. With this Chariot coming in, I feel like this is giving me very much so you getting approached with that closure, right? Ace of Cups talks about your heart chakra. I always like to see it rather as your heart chakra opening up. Four of Swords is what you've been healing from. So the good things coming into the works for you straight up, one is this sense of closure. But for some of you guys, I kind of get the sense that you might be worth giving a second chance again. Obviously, it depends on what caused that pain in the first place for you, Sagittarius. If someone cheated on you, darling, I mean, I can't pretend like I'm going to be able to not project my own personal opinion and tell you just that to move on and that you don't deserve better. But if it's a situation that you can look at and see is like, oh, okay, this wasn't directly trying to hurt me, this wasn't what have you, right? It's going to be very individualistic for each of you Sagittarius. So you have to ask yourself that question. But for many of you guys, Sagittarius, I see this sense of where it's just like, because you still clearly care about the energy, you know, you have 4 swords coming in twice. So it's a lot of healing on that. Like, you wouldn't be hurting this bad if you didn't care so much about it in the first place, Sagittarius, right? So I really get this sense, darling. Yeah, I feel like some of you guys are going to give this another chance again, and you won't regret it. But let's get some clarifiers. Knight of Cups coming in on that Chariot. You definitely are going to be having this energy approaching you again. Just no facts, no printed, darling. Page of Wands coming in on the Ace of Cups, and then the 7 of Pentacles on the 4 Swords. So this is very much so an energy where it's just like this offer comes in again, Sagittarius, and then you're left very quickly. Knight of Cups and that Chariot, it's going to be approaching you. You're not going to be having to approach it. Page of Wands clarifying that, and Ace of Cups. It's that sense here of where it's just like starting fresh, moving on, and just like starting like in a new phase with this, you know, no longer thinking about what happened into the past and truly being able to just start from scratch, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And that 7 of Pentacles on that 4 Swords, where it's just like, all right, we healed from this, we can experience this closure, apologies happened, what have you. Let's continue working on this. Let's continue nurturing this, right? Now, again, obviously, Sagittarius, this is going to be very individualistic for how you guys choose to handle this situation, right? Because it's up to you. The final fact of the matter is, these are just some tarot cards, Sagittarius. This can't tell you what you need, what you should do. But I just see for many of you guys, if you do choose to give this another chance, Sagittarius, you won't regret. I feel like you won't regret this. Let's see. Will they regret this, Sagittarius? I don't know why I said will they regret this, Sagittarius, as if asking for you. 8 of Cups coming in here. 4 of Cups. So you're not gonna like, it's one of those things really, the way to answer your question, Sagittarius, is like, if you are able to truly move on from this and work through with this person, with this situation again, if you're able to fully detach yourself emotionally from what happened in the past that caused that upset, right? If you look at it and you see yourself, you know, as like an analogy, you know, let's just say they did cheat, or let's just say that you have been getting underpaid, like something happened in your workplace that really left a bitter taste in your mouth. If you feel like you cannot wash that bitter taste out of your mouth from this situation, which don't feel like you need to, you know, you are entitled to your own emotions, so please don't take this, Sagittarius, as a way that you need to. But it's just like, if you can't wash that taste out of your mouth, that's okay. Don't feel like you need to, but don't try to engage with this energy either, because you're just setting yourself up to fail. Right? You're just setting yourself up to have trust issues and what have you, and it's just going to sit on your brain the entire time. So ask yourself the question, if you could truly move on from it. If you can, and from whatever happened in the past, then I feel like it's definitely worth working out. It's definitely worth giving this another chance, Sagittarius. So I guess that's the answer for you, darling, in that regard. So let me know what you guys end up deciding with that, Sagittarius. Girl, come on. Now let's give these cards to Ms. Barbara Walters, darling, and Aretha Franklin, and let's get into your spirit guide messages as well as your ancestral, whatever it is that you identify with, Saji. We have here the Page of Wands coming in again for you, the 8 of Swords, and as well as the 8 of Pentacles. I feel drawn to do another one, so we're going to do another one for you, Saji. As well as the Justice card, Saji. I'm going to be honest here, Sagittarius. Their spirit guide messages here is they're trying to get you out of your current situation. They're trying to get you feeling like whatever has been keeping you trapped. And I feel like for many of you guys, it's just like your mindset, your emotional, the way your emotions that are keeping you stuck in a situation that you feel as if you can't even grow from anymore. Your spirit guides are really trying to bring forward this sense of being like, hey, even if you choose to move on from the situation, they're still trying to up level things for you. Like, justice is on your side, karma is on your side, Sagittarius. So don't feel as if, you know, again, like if you can't move on from the move on from what happened from those past mistakes, don't feel like you need to don't pressure yourself in being like, oh, well, I need to get over this because maybe something better won't come along in the future. That's not the case at all, because the Page of Wands talks about new opportunity, something new that you could be dabbling into as well. Sagittarius, all at the end of the day, it's all in the name of up leveling for you, Sagittarius. So it's just really what you need to ask yourself is just like, where are you at emotionally? And don't base how you make your next decision off of thinking that you're not going to get any better, because your spirit guides, your ancestors, darling, they're all just telling you that they got you taken care of, honey. Don't overthink this. Like, continue the course of whatever it is that you feel like is best for you, and your spirit guides are going to handle the rest. We have the Seven of Swords. Many of you guys, yeah, I feel like that's kind of the thing, Sagittarius. Many of you guys might try to just like accept the situation for what it is just because you feel like you won't get better. And that's not the case. Like, it's not the case at all. Like, whatever, like, it's a win-win outcome for you, Sagittarius, regardless. So don't base your decision based off of like what you think might be best case scenario for you. Really, it's just about your emotions. Death card coming in here on the Eight of Swords makes sense. Four of Swords coming in, third time for Four of Swords. So you're having such major healing with this Eight of Pentacles. And then you have the Knight of Swords coming in on the Justice card. A lot of air energy in this as well. So Sagittarius, straight up, yeah, I mean, this is kind of just like a repetitive message where it's just like, focus on your healing. Do what's going to be best that heals your heart, that heals your well-being. And then your spirit guides, your ancestors, they're going to take care of the rest, darling. So don't overthink things. Don't think about like what your future is going to look like if you choose to pass up on the situation again, or choose to pass on the situation because of like what happened in the past with this. Does that make sense, Sagittarius? So, yeah, enough of those cards. And now let's see how people are perceiving you at this time, Sagittarius, and what their intentions are towards you, darling. We have the Nine of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, and then the Seven of Cups. One more. Six of Cups. Yeah, girl. I feel like this is, again, the same energy that you've been tapping into. I'm going to be honest, like you associated it a lot with this energy, Hanged Man moment. I feel like they did learn. Here's the thing. I do feel like they've learned, regardless of the situation, if you take them back or not, or whether you choose to allow this energy back into your life, Sagittarius, they definitely have learned from their mistakes, right? This is definitely an energy that you really cared about a lot, but maybe they were selfish with that Queen of Pentacles. Maybe they were selfish. Maybe, Seven of Cups, they kind of were not sure what it is that they wanted, or they were just looking around on other options as well. They definitely have learned from their mistakes, Sagittarius. So if that's like your worry, is like they didn't heal from what, figure things out. Ace of Swords, yeah, they definitely have this change of perspective. Eight of Swords here, they're stuck on you as well. Empress card, yeah, they really did learn. Like, I'm not defending what it is that they did. Obviously, I can't defend it because I don't know what they did, Sagittarius, but they really did learn from the mistake that they made in Page of Swords, and they want to communicate that with you. So, really, I guess the best way to, you're not getting a very clear-cut answer, Sagittarius, when it comes to this reading, but I do feel like this is going to give a lot of clarity for many of you guys, and give you a sense of direction. If you're able to move on from the situation and forgive them, that's really the key. If you're able to forgive them, they definitely learned from the situation, right? Base your decision purely just off of what you're feeling emotionally. Don't, if you're worried about if they've really changed or not, I kind of see this as a sense of where they did grow from the situation and they did really change from it. I mean, because they are stuck on you, right? Maybe it's going to, not saying that this isn't me saying that they're not going to go back to their old ways, right? I don't want to sell like a sunshines and rainbow storyline. I have to be honest with you, Sagittarius, right? But they're able, on some level, they're able to acknowledge being like, man, I messed up, right? And they acknowledge they messed up, and they want to communicate that with you. So do what's best for you, though, Sagittarius, at the end of the day. But you didn't need to tell me. You didn't need me to tell you that. You just need to be reminded of it, right, darling? But Sagittarius, that is the weekly tarot horoscope reading that I have for you, darling. Hopefully you found some cards that resonated with you. If you did, let me know in the comments below. Be sure to check out my website, SimplyVelca.com, linked down below. If you want to book a private personal reading with me, Sagittarius, next to my social medias, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that to just being SimplyVelca. But yeah, until next time, Sagittarius, I love you so much. Bye.